Welcome back to BitsBeTrippin. This is your host, Carter. Let's get into this. So this is the 30-day review of the iPollo G1 Mini that was sent over earlier last month. We started this thing on August 12th, and we wanted to see how did it perform over 30 days of just pretty much unobstructed 24/7 operation. Now, over this calendar, this thing was turned off for a maximum of about 12 hours. We had one day that we were over at Crypto World, and it was sitting on display just to kind of show folks what this little device looked like and helped explain the difference between algorithms, where you have SHA-256 ASICs versus something like this that's Cuckoo-232, typically used for GRiN. And of course, that's what we had this set on, to the 2 miners solo pool. Now, if we look at our uptime, that's roughly 98.8% uptime, with 100% uptime of the time that we actually had it running. It required no reboots or anything like that. So the roughly 2% that we lost was because we actually physically took it down ourselves. The unit on average uses 114 watts, and while it's rated at 120 watts, I've never seen it much over 114. And its performance normally sat around 1.2 graphs per second. Now, if we take a look at the ASICMinerValue.com's depiction of this, it shows over that same period of time, it should have brought in about $67.45 of total income, averaging about $2.25 a day. That puts it at $809 for the year. Now, of course, those are estimations, and when we look at this 30-day run that this unit had, we were way over trending that, actually by an entire order of magnitude. You can see right here, my personal pool luck was 69% with an 8 blocks being found. Now, that's absolutely exceptional and not to be 100% expected for everybody. You know, typical pull luck is right there at 100%. That's statistically, if you were to have this plugged in over the long haul, and if difficulty and hash rate stayed the same, you would more than likely average out closer to 100%. That means your probability of winning blocks is proportional to the hash rate that you are providing to the network versus the total network hash rate. If you get 100%, then you are getting the proportional amount that would be expected through statistics. But in my case, at least for this month, I was very lucky, earning 31% more than I should have. You can see this graph distribution of personal luck, including one block that came in within 7% of the effort, and then just 2 blocks that were just over 100%, meaning it took me a little longer than statistically it should have. This yielded a grand total of 531.94 GRiN for the entire month. Now, GRiN over the past month went between 31 cents all the way up to almost peaking 50 cents on the 20th of August. Now, at the current time, at 531.9 GRiN earned over this 1 month, that's $170.22. And at 8 cents per kilowatt, that's about $6.56 in power cost to run this thing. And even if we're paying up to 14 cents per kilowatt, that's $11.50 to run it for a month. Now, iPollo is doing a deal on these for $849 if you do mention BBT, which saves you about $50. So let's say you don't do that and you just straight up buy this unit for $899. That's just under 5.5 months ROI, which is still pretty decent. And if you do get those units at $849, that puts it just under 5 months ROI at this current win rate. Now, if we set that win rate to more around 100% versus the 69% that I'm getting right now, that still earns around $119 per month if you statistically get blocks as often as you should. That puts you winning about 6 blocks versus 8 blocks in a month. Now, again, all of this is subject to any new hardware coming online and the network staying relatively the same from a network hash rate. And if we go ahead and pull that up, we can take a look at what's it look like over the last month. Now, this chart shows GRiN oscillating a little bit between 7.45 to 14.41 kGPS. So considering 2 miners solo is averaging around 273 GPS, roughly 2.39% of the total network, outperforming that by almost 30%, does show that solo mining sometimes does work out. Now, that's the raw numbers of a 1 month look. We're going to revisit this in 3 months and then 6 months and then 1 year. So hopefully you you guys don't get too sick of this, but I want to try to give you guys a long-term overview of what a unit like this that's, you know, a sub $1,000 unit, uses low power, and is ideal for somebody that doesn't have a lot of room nor can deal with the noise of, you know, a larger ASIC or the footprint of a larger GPU mining rig. So I hope you guys like this one and you like these type of reports, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.